March 6, 1981. A German courtroom. A murder trial is underway. The defendant, Klaus Grabowski, sits calmly in the dock, accused of killing a 7-year-old girl. But what happens next will shock the world and divide a nation. A mother will take justice into her own hands. This is the story of Marianne Bachmeier, Germany's revenge mother. Lübeck, West Germany, 1980. Marianne Bachmeier was an ordinary woman living an ordinary life. A single mother, working as a waitress, doing everything she could to provide for her daughter, Anna. Anna was 7 years old, full of life, full of dreams. She was everything to Marianne. May 5th, 1980. Anna didn't come home from school. Hours passed, then days. Marianne reported her missing, desperate, searching everywhere. 3 days later, they found Anna's body. She had been strangled. The killer? A 35-year-old butcher named Klaus Grabowski. He lived near Anna's school. He had lured her to his home. But here's what made it worse. Klaus Grabowski was a known predator. He had been convicted before for abusing 2 young girls. He had even been chemically castrated. Yet somehow, he was free. Free to kill again. Marianne Bachmeier's world shattered. Her daughter was gone, and the man who took her was about to face trial. March 6th, 1981. Nearly 10 months after Anna's murder, the trial begins in Lübeck District Court. Marianne attended every day. She sat in the gallery, forced to watch the man who murdered her daughter. Forced to hear the details of what he did. Day 3 of the trial, Klaus Grabowski takes the stand. He shows no remorse. Instead, he tries to shift blame. He claims Anna had tried to blackmail him, a 7-year-old child. Marianne Bachmeier had heard enough. She had prepared for this moment. Hidden in her purse was a .22 caliber Beretta pistol. She had bought it illegally. She had practiced at a shooting range. And now she was ready. In the middle of the trial, Marianne stood up. She pulled out the gun. And in front of judges, lawyers, and dozens of witnesses, she fired. 8 shots. 7 hit their target. Klaus Grabowski was dead. The courtroom erupted in chaos. Guards rushed in. Marianne was arrested immediately. But she didn't resist. She simply said, "He killed my daughter. I wanted him to die." News of the shooting spread like wildfire across Germany and around the world. A mother had killed her child's murderer in open court. The question everyone asked, was it murder? Or was it justice? Public opinion was divided. Thousands supported Marianne. They called her a hero. Petitions were signed demanding her release. People sent her flowers and letters in prison. They understood her pain. They understood her rage. But others said, no matter the circumstances, vigilante justice cannot be accepted, that we cannot allow people to take the law into their own hands. Marianne Bachmeier faced her own trial. She was charged with manslaughter and illegal possession of a weapon. Her defense argued she had acted in a state of temporary insanity, driven mad by grief. The prosecution wanted her convicted of murder. After a highly publicized trial, the verdict came in 1983. Marianne was found guilty of manslaughter, not murder.
Das Lübecker Schwurgericht hat heute die 32-jährige Marianne Bachmeier wegen Totschlags zu 6 Jahren Haft verurteilt. Frau Bachmeier hatte im März 1981 in einem Lübecker Gerichtssaal den mutmaßlichen Mörder ihrer 7-jährigen Tochter Anna erschossen.
But the story doesn't end there. The case of Marianne Bachmeier raised questions that society still struggles with today. What do we do when the justice system fails? When a known criminal is released and kills again? when a mother loses everything and the law seems powerless. After her release, Marianne tried to rebuild her life, but the pain never left. She moved to Sicily, Italy, seeking peace. She avoided the media. She lived quietly. In 1996, Marianne Bachmeier was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. She died that same year at the age of 46. In her final interviews, she said she never regretted what she did. She said she would do it again, because in that moment, in that courtroom, she wasn't thinking about justice or law. She was thinking about Anna. The case of Marianne Bachmeier remains one of the most controversial acts of vigilante justice in modern history. It forced Germany and the world to confront uncomfortable truths about justice, revenge, and the limits of the law. Some see her as a murderer. Others see her as a grieving mother who had no choice. Perhaps she was both. What happened in that courtroom on March 6, 1981, reminds us that behind every headline, every verdict, every crime, there are human beings who love, who suffer, and who sometimes break. This was the story of Marianne Bachmeier, the revenge mother, a woman who took the law into her own hands and changed the conversation about justice forever.